in Brazil?
I mean, I mostly just be working, producing. Like I manage a what you call it, a beat site for a company in the States. So I'll be doing that. And since the time difference is so vast, like sometimes I gotta work late and do certain things. But yeah,
Mm.
doing that, producing stuff for different people, recording drums, like yeah. So I just have to be up doing stuff pretty much. Like once I wake up, brush my teeth, get ready for the day, just kind of. But I work from home, so I
Okay.
work from home or either I'm going to a studio. So it's yeah, it's like I'm mostly in the same spot all the time, and then I'm just like, all right, let me go eat something. Like I normally eat around like 5 or 6, cause I don't eat 3 meals a day. Can't do that. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that'd be too much for me. I just eat one big meal.
So you just basically leave your house to go get something to eat daily.
Yeah. I
Are
mean,
you
I'm a
cook?
homebody. I've been a homebody though. Like I only
Are
go to shows and get food. That's all I do. I ain't
mhm.
really. I'm not like. I'm very introverted, and I don't like a lot of people. And I just always kind of been like that. Like I just don't like a lot of people. People be too stupid for me, and it's like it be like the willful stupid shit. And I just be like, yo, like if I'm stupid or something, and somebody tell me facts and it makes sense, and I'm just like, oh, okay. But it's like people want to be dumb, and they want you to come and be dumb with them. It's like, yo, that don't make sense. Like, why can't you just take the truth and let the truth be the truth? But this is my truth. No, you're an idiot. Like, leave me alone. Like, let me just go now.
Well, I know one thing when moving abroad, like people, one question people have is like, what do people do for money? And so one
Yeah.
thing that I'm like, hey, we somebody said me neither. I don't like people either. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing like people ask, when they're thinking about moving abroad, people ask, what people do for money, and I think it's like I wouldn't move to another country to go and work in that country. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Like, because I mean, the United States, as far as like the work week goes, you mainly doing 40 hours a week, 5 days after week, and have 2 days
Hmm.
off. And like in Mexico, hey Ray Ray, like in Mexico, these they work 6 days out the week, and
Yeah.
so
They do that out
and
here
they
too.
huh.
Most people do that out here too.
Right, and then they're working, and then they're working, um, okay, and then they're working long hours. Like I would never, I would never, like I would never come and do that So,
Yeah.
um,
I mean, I just can't. Like, I got to get current. I got to get a stronger currency. Like living, that's the whole point of living here. Living here somewhere where they have a weaker currency and getting a stronger currency from somewhere else. It just your money goes further. So that's why I'm always trying to live here and get USD because
yeah,
it just makes life easier.
yeah. So, so yeah. So you saying you're working for a company in the U.S. and you're also producing, managing, you're managing artists, or how is it working?
No, I don't want to
No,
manage no artists.
you're
No,
not managing.
no, no, no,
What
no. I just
you?
produce like I'm doing all the back end stuff. Like I'll produce, I'll engineer, I'll record, mix, master. I'll do all that. I ain't trying to manage nobody. I ain't trying to get into your life. Because managing, you got to tell people how to be on social media. I don't even care about social media enough. That's why I was like, I can't manage nobody. I ain't gonna care if you want to make yourself look stupid. Go ahead, make yourself look stupid. Just continue making good songs. That would be my solution for it. Oh yeah, just keep making good music. Yeah, go ahead and do that stupid shit you want to do. I'm the wrong person for that. But yeah, like doing all the behind the scenes stuff is cool. But yeah, and I also play shows out here too. But yeah, so I play with I got a homie out here that be asking me to play shows with him.
Yeah. I thought you were playing. I thought you were doing shows.
I mean, I don't want to do shows. I want to just
Okay.
solely produce.
Oh yeah, you did say you wanted to just be to yourself somewhere. You didn't really want to
Yeah,
be
I told
around.
you I'm an introvert. I'm a homebody. Like,
Yeah.
put me in the studio. I can be in the studio literally all day. All I need is some food, some water, and if I can get some tree. Oh Lord, if I can get some tree, now I'm in there.
Please don't start talking about the tree now, cause I'm feeling some type of way already about that now.
And I'm trying to tell you,
Uh,
like, I love Brazil. But the way they be charging prices for good weed, like for the good tree that you can get, I'd be like, hold on, you want me to do what? How much is this? I'm like, man, no. You out your head. I almost cussed this one dude out. I was like, he ain't gonna understand nothing I'm saying. But I would have felt bad cause how I was gonna cuss him out. I was like, you know what? Let me just step away from the situation. Cause it's like, man, like I said, I used to buy by the ounce. They sell by the gram out here. You trying to tell me it's gonna be what 75? Boy, shoot. Woo. Like what you just say to me? That's like what? Anyway, so yeah, like
yeah,
if I can get
right.
some good, if I can get some good
Tamika,
tree, I can
I'm
be
gonna
in the
call
studio.
you. I'm gonna call you, Tamika. For real. Thank you for being on the live. I'm looking at the comments, Brandon. So
Oh, I it's so small I can't even see it.
yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, I got the screen. Can you
My
see me? Cause
eyes
my
is
screen
good,
is
but they
just
ain't
black.
that good. And the
Can you
glasses
see?
I had, them glasses ain't real. I ain't got no prescription. I got 20/20, but like my eyes is not that good.
Yes, ma'am, I am. Look, my girl in Oakland talking about, so you missing your gummies? Yes, ma'am, I am.
Oh
I
Lord.
sure am. I
Man,
sure
I'm trying
am.
to tell you, I would take some gummies, some anything right now. Oh, if I could be floating on this interview right now, shoot, it might be cut a little short, but hey, we'll get some
Okay, you can't
entertaining
see me.
stuff.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with this screen. I don't know. We've been having
Man, your
technical
mic again,
difficulties. Huh?
your mic is going. It's better than it was, but it's still like a little iffy. Mm.
Okay. Can you see me now?
Yeah, I can see you.
You can hear me? Okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
audio's still a little crazy, but it's still cool. It's cool enough.
Okay. It's gonna figure something out. It's gonna figure something out in a
I
minute.
think it might be trying to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Man, man, these technical difficulties with this internet. I had last week, I had to talk to the folks about the internet, and
Hmm.
they just said like we got so many devices connected to the internet that it's not. We need to upgrade. So we've been
Yeah.
somebody
Well,
supposed to be working on that.
you got like the main router You can't just buy like an extension.
You know what? I think my son has one because he has a computer, and so he wants
Mm-hmm.
something, some kind of extension. So, but
Okay.
hey, like I said, hopefully it'll just catch up like before. You know.
Yeah, I mean, my I got my whole router just for my room. So and like
It's
everybody, because
it's
I
actually
told
two
you
routers
I'm in
in
like a
here.
shared space, so everybody kind of got their own internet around me.
Okay, but like it's two routers in here. So
Mm.
I look,
Yeah,
I don't
yours
know.
should be better than mine.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know. And like my
And
son not
Brazil,
even on the computer right now. It should just be me.
yeah, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, audio's clear
Okay.
now. Okay, the video still got to catch up, but the audio is clear.
But it's cool. Okay. Like I said, as long
Yeah.
as I ain't looking crazy, I'm good.
Nah, you good, you good.
Yeah, as long as I'm not looking crazy, I am good. But yeah, we were talking about earlier, we were talking about, so we have talked about, what people are doing what you're doing as,
Hmm.
as for income.
Hmm.
And like I said, I had no plans on coming down here and going to work. If I was going, work for somebody else, I could have stayed in the States for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that wasn't a real thing for me. Um, but we getting
For real.
it. It's
I told
coming.
you, I told you I was working for a bar at one time. It's crazy. Like I done had a job out here not speaking Portuguese, just
Uh-huh.
like knowing what to do, understanding certain things that people were saying, and like, oh, you want this. I was getting
Uh-huh.
people to point at stuff, like, cause like with I was just basically serving beer. I was a bartender, so I was just
Yeah.
serving beer. I had to
I
make
mean,
a couple drinks.
were you a bartender in the States?
I mean, kinda. I had a job. I was working at this restaurant where I was running food, and then one day one of the people got sick, so they had me start working the cashier, like the front of house. They had me running the
Uh-huh.
front of house, so I had to learn how to make the drinks and do all this stuff. So yeah, I did it for like maybe like 2 or 3 years, maybe.
Mm.
But
Oh,
yeah,
well, shoot, you know something to do then. Shoot.
I mean that was so long ago, but yeah, it got me through. I mean, I just wanted some consistent money
Yeah.
because I was in between like having a studio job, and then I finally got this other job in the States. So once I got that, I was like, yeah, I don't really need this job no more. So,
Okay.
but it was
Yeah, my
cool.
son, he, to be in these other countries, you have to have a work visa anyway. But
They
there's
was paying me under the
absolutely,
table, so
huh?
they was paying me under the table, so it was all
Yeah, yeah. And so unless I don't know what he nor or I or him or I could have been doing
good.
working here. Because I'm like
Hmm.
my Spanish is poquito español. His
Wow.
is non-existent.
Okay.
So yeah.
My
Even though they have
Portuguese
like
is
a
muito
Walmart
mal.
huh?
My Portuguese is muito ruim. It's like no, 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 no. Mm.
Are you
But I do be
learning? I
understanding
mean, you've
some
been
stuff.
there. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think mine is growing as well because people. It's not very common for anybody to speak English here.
Yeah.
You know, even though this is Mexico, and like my son likes to say, we down the street. But
Yeah, y'all still connected.
you think we down the street or whatever. But no one in this part of Mexico is fluent in English like that. The only way
Mm.
they would be fluent in English if they used to live in the States and they, came back. I met a guy
Yeah.
recently he said he was deported a couple of months ago from the US. He said Trump deported him, and so he had to come on back to Veracruz.
Dang.
So, but he had been in the States, huh?
Trump won't play him, boy. He got in there and like unleashed the wrath.
Man,
Boy,
he said that he had been in the States for 23 years.
dang.
It's a lot of people that have been in the States for over 20 years, and they had to come back. They had to come back to Mexico.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
Now my screen, yeah.
you don't have people that had
Now
kids.
my
It's like
screen is black.
two or three generations, and just because they weren't born there, they got it. That's crazy.
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
still
Oh,
hear me because my,
I can
my my
still hear
screen
you,
is
but I
blank.
can't see you. It went blank. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know either. I'm like, man, okay.
What they
But
say in
look,
church,
one
they be
thing
like,
that's always
the devil is busy. No. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if the devil know how to work a computer. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of, after his time. But hey, I wouldn't put it past him. Okay.
you are so funny. Well, actually, with the energy that's going on right now, some technical difficulties can be, yeah, it can be
Yeah.
expected. I'll say it like that. Yeah. But as long as you can hear me, that's what it is.
Yeah,
That's
I can
what it
hear you.
is. Yeah. So let's see. So let's get back to the dating piece. You know.
Okay. Yeah, I
Um
mean, oh, you wanted to ask a question?
yeah, so I know the
Okay.
language is a barrier because I
Yeah.
think you were saying people I don't know, but no, you said they do speak English though. The
Some.
people around you.
Yeah, the people I've been blessed. So the people around me, like, they speak English. None of the people that I live around now, they don't speak any English, but the people that I have been working with, for a majority of them, all of them have spoken English, except for maybe like two people. And I've been
Oh,
around
okay.
a lot of people.
Okay. Oh, so you should be good then. One thing that you kept repeating on the last live was just how beautiful the women are. And I
Yeah.
told you, well, ain't no use of me coming if the women outnumbering the men. And so that's so yeah.
I mean, I don't be checking for them, so I don't know.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
They are not on
I
my radar.
understand that piece. I understand that piece. But no, I think when things align, yeah, I think I'll come to Brazil, check it out, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
see some things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, by then, you can come out here. We can go to Rio. We can go to Bahia. So Bahia is where all the black people live, all the black people are at.
Okay.
So that's why I want to go. It's
Okay.
like the northeast.
Uh-huh.
And I got a friend that he has a house up there, and he said it's like a 10-minute walk from the beach. But
Okay.
it's like up in the hills where his house is up in the hills, so you got to walk down to the beach. He said it's like a 10-minute walk. I was like, man, I was like, yeah, you would give me. I'm around beautiful black women, get some good seafood. Seafood is my favorite type of food. So
Uh-huh.
I don't eat seafood in big cities except for San Francisco,
Mm-hmm.
like, or
Okay.
maybe New York. I never had seafood in New York, but yeah, I don't eat. I don't even eat seafood in Oakland. Oakland seafood wasn't that popping to me, but San Francisco seafood was killing. Oh my god! I used to play at this restaurant called what was it called? It was right by the Fisherman Wharf.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and they used to give us like these fish and chips. Oh my god!
You know
Whoa.
what? One of my former coworkers, we had went to this restaurant um, that was in the Fisherman's Wharf. I can't tell you what the name of it was, but yeah, that fish it was pretty good. It was pretty
Pretty.
good. I started eating like clam chowder, and so
Yeah. I mean, they
yeah, it was
do.
pretty good.
They got
Huh?
they got this one restaurant that's kind of like it's right there, kind of like on the bay.
Mm.
It's like you walk. It's. I'm trying to. I can't think of the
You
name
can't
of
think of
it.
the name of it?
I know it's like a white building. You walk in there. It looked like kind of like an old ship. You walk in there and they got all these nice tables, nice chandeliers, and you and it's like right on the water. And I sat right by the window. Man,
Yeah.
ordered me some shrimp scampi. Oh my Jesus, that was so good with some clam chowder. Oh, trying to tell you, man, why I gotta be on this fast right now? Oh, Jesus, I
Oh,
don't need
okay.
to be thinking about food.
Yeah. No, sir. No, sir. Yeah.
Oh my God, but yeah, so I'm a big fan of seafood, but like, yeah, I don't really eat seafood in big cities because they can't get it that fresh. But Bahia is right there, and they was talking about how they have some of the best seafood. They make their own hot sauces out there,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go. I'll probably try to go. If not before the end of the year, I might try to go sometime, like maybe around my birthday next year or something.
Okay. Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about the dating piece or whatever. So they are speaking English. It's a lot of beautiful women. So what have been
Mhm.
some of your experiences with dating in Brazil? And I'm gonna say it. Okay, let me say it one time. Uh,
Okay.
Sao Paulo, Sao Paulo,
Yeah, Sao
huh?
Paulo. Yeah, that's
So
it.
okay, yes.
Well, well, it's I would say maybe probably about 20% of the girls that I've actually like went on dates with have spoken English. I ain't gonna lie, I was using translator on these dates because especially when I first got here and I started matching with a whole bunch of people because I had the what was it? I was using Bumble. And I
Uh
started
huh.
matching with a whole bunch. And at first, I was like, man, I ain't gonna try to talk to none of these women. But some of them were so fine. I was like, all right. I was like, I gotta see what this is about. Let me see. Let me see what's going on. So I would go on the dates, and I would let them know, like, I don't speak Portuguese. I speak English. I'm from the States. And they'll be like, well, how are we gonna talk? And I'll be like, I'm gonna use translator. That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to use this
Yeah.
translator. I didn't get this app for no reason. So
Yeah.
and I mean, I try to be a good person. I try to read energy real well. So it's no most of the time it's been good vibes. Like a lot of women out here like they're very lively. They wanna go out, they wanna dance, you know, they wanna have a couple drinks and they like to party out here. Like a lot of people are used to partying with their families because they're very family oriented out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So so they'll have like big parties for like their cousins, and you know, it lasts all day. Like so they're used to, you know, dancing and going out and having a lot of fun. And they kind of expect the same thing when they go out on a date. And like with me being a homebody, you know, it gets me out of my shell a little bit, depending on how
Mhm.
attractive the girl is. But
Wait a
I
minute.
definitely
What?
like, yeah, I mean, you know, it's a motivational thing for me. Like if you ain't cute enough, my motivation won't be there. I can't conjure up the energy to,
You know
you know.
what?
I mean, I'm very honest. I'm that's one thing I
I
am. I
see.
am
Yeah,
very
I
honest.
see.
But I mean, none of the women I have been out with have been facially challenged. You know, they have all
Mm.
been very, very attractive
You know
and
what?
very nice too.
You reminded me of you reminded me of something my father had said. He was talking about somebody, not being, very attractive, and he said he called him beauty challenged.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, bro, what are you talking about?
I mean, everybody can't come in first place, so some people just
Yeah,
some
but
people in the back fighting. They've been fighting too long, and they got war scars. They got the war
oh
wounds,
wow, okay,
and you can
that's
just see
interesting.
it. It's like some of them was born in the front. So they ain't they ain't had to fight.
Man, like,
I'm just saying. I mean, I feel like I had to fight a little bit too. I got some war wounds, but the Lord is good.
so have you so you've been dating and I guess it's been, going pretty good. So do you see yourself like starting a family with someone and having some kids?
Honestly, at the age I'm at now, unless I'm gonna date somebody younger than me, I'm probably gonna end up getting with somebody that already has kids, more than likely,
Mm.
and
I mean, you're
see if
not
they want to
that
have
old. What are
another
you
one.
talking about? You're in your 30s. So wait a minute, you're what, 34?
Yeah, I
What you
mean,
telling me?
I believe I'm young. I believe I'm young, but
Yeah.
maybe no. It it's the mindset of some women in their 30s to just be like, yeah, especially if they don't have kids, they just think they not gonna have them and it's over. And I be trying to push for it, like, nah, I believe, I believe, I got faith. And some of them just be like, nah, but I mean, it all depends on the person. It all depends. I think stuff like that is a conversation, but I will say probably like 40%, maybe 45 of the women that I've talked to out here, they've already had kids. Cause they start
Mm.
early out here. I ain't gonna lie. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
They start
yeah,
early.
yeah.
It was this
I,
one girl, she was like 25 with 3 kids.
oh,
I was like,
what it is
what?
it? What it is
Shoot. That's what I asked. I was like, and he was older. He was older than me.
like,
I was like, where you meet this dude? I was like, okay.
because I
That
thought
was blown away. But yeah,
culturally,
they start
they,
early out here.
yeah, I know they start early, but culturally, it's like they stick with their woman or whatever. That's what I'm thinking.
A lot of them do. A lot of them
Yeah,
do, but I think it's changing a little bit, because they're being influenced by the states more and more. They love
yeah,
American culture out here,
yeah.
like they love North American culture, and I'm trying so hard to tell them like, nah, that ain't the way. No, no,
This
no,
ain't it. Yeah,
it
yeah,
ain't it. Like
yeah,
stick to y'all roots of how y'all love y'all family. Stick to that. Don't become
yeah,
over capitalistic. Like um, it's funny because they'll hate capitalism from a political standpoint, but they'll push it on an individual and personal standpoint. Like, because they're consuming so much social media and stuff, and they
yeah.
see these things, and also in like in Rio is more of like Rio is like LA. So Rio is where like the most beautiful people in the world are. Oh my God. Yeah. I remember somebody told me that I looked like I was from Rio. It made me feel good. But anyway, Rio is like LA, and like that's like their mecca of where you know all of the, how, what would you say, like entertainment and how stuff is like pushed out there. But Rio is influenced from the States. So that's like more people speak English in Rio because it's the tourist attraction. People want to go and see, the little Jesus on the hill with his hands out. They want to go out there and see that. And Rio is like a city that's on the beach. So almost no matter where you go in Rio, unless you're like in the favela, you're kind of like close to a beach almost wherever you go in Rio. So in Sao Paulo, they get a lot of like how they interact and do all that stuff from Rio, and Rio gets it from the States. So it's like it's trickling down and becoming more of like a thing. Because I had heard that when I first came here, that you would see, because like the older generation, the older people I see out here, you will see somebody that look like these dudes be ugly, and like they be with some of the finest women. I'll be like, how that happen? And they be like, well, he probably got her pregnant, and like they just stick with whoever get them
Yeah.
pregnant. I'm like,
Yeah.
really? They be like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what happens out here. But like
Yeah.
the newer generation is not like that. Cause these, I'm trying to tell you, these shorties, when that shorty told me she had 3 kids and she was 25, I was like, dang, I was celibate for 2 years. When by the time I was 25, I was celibate for 2 years, just probably coming off my celibacy. And like I wasn't even thinking about having no kids. I had 2 little sisters that I was raising. So I was like, I won't think about no
Mm-hmm.
kids. Lord knows. And she had 3. I was like, yo, that's crazy. And one of them was like 4. So I was just like, yeah,
So the
it just blew
oldest
my
was like
mind. Like thinking
4.
about that is kind of crazy. But like, yeah, no judgment for sure.
The oldest was like 4.
Yeah, her oldest was like 4.
Okay.
So she had her first one at like 21.
Yeah. And then
And I was like,
so yeah, you know.
and they always by one dude. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
And some of them get married really early out here too.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she probably need to go back and find him. Shoot. Because you know when you get, she obviously is very fertile, and
Whew,
then so
yeah,
you give somebody else, you're finna have some babies.
exactly. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm also not trying to have no oops babies either. I don't need no
No
oops
who?
babies. Oops babies.
Oops, baby.
You don't know what the oops baby is?
We ain't gonna talk about no oops babies, honey, because it's a whole lot of folks some oops babies.
I mean, shoot, I'm an oops baby. I know I won't. Nobody won't plan it for me.
That's why I said it's a whole lot of folks that are oops babies.
Yeah. So I'm not like for me. If I when I have a child, I wanted to be intentional because I feel like when you put that energy into the child grows up better. Like, not saying that the child will know he a oops baby because it's how you treat them afterwards also. But
Mm-hmm.
I just feel having intention just makes things a little easier. Makes things
Yes,
easier
it does.
with the lady.
It
It makes
does.
everything easier.
It does. You're absolutely correct. It does.
But yeah,
But
but people be
at
out here
46,
practicing.
huh?
I said people be out here practicing.
At
You can't get good at nothing if you ain't in the gym. That's all I'm gonna say.
46, I'm not trying to do any of that. Yeah. You know, you met my daughter. You met my
Uh-huh.
daughter. She's shit. She's about to be 27.
Really?
Yeah. And my son just
Okay.
turned 23.
Dang. Both your kids in their 20s.
Right.
Look at you. Yeah. So I mean, are you expecting to be a grandmother anytime soon? How you feeling about that?
Hell no. Hell no. No.
Yeah.
No. I feel like I just started my life. Seriously.
Man.
I just started this is another life right here. The age I'm at, what I'm
Uh-huh.
doing. Yeah, this is the life. One thing that was happening when I was in the Bay was like when I moved to Berkeley, that was the first time I had a place by myself. Like
Okay.
my daughter was in Oakland, was in West Oakland. My son had moved to Richmond, Virginia. And it was just me. I had never, as an adult, had a space by myself because I've always had kids.
Yeah.
So I'm not. No, I'm not looking to be anybody's. I don't even know what you would call me. You know, I'm not looking
Yeah.
to. No, No, I'm still dealing with the fact that I still got eggs and I can still have kids. You know, that's the thing. That's now I'm at the point of, having to worry about uh it's a lot of chicks my age that have had these old babies, and I'm just kind of like, man, no,
Yeah.
no,
I mean, but they
no.
probably never had no kids before, so it's
No,
different for
they
them.
have grown kids. They
Oh, they
have
got
grown
grown kids and still
kids.
having more?
They
Nah.
have grown kids or kids that are in high school or whatever, and they start all the way over. It's a lot of that going on. It's a
Oh
lot.
no. You need a
And
puppy or something.
no. Look,
Go buy
I'm
you a
like this.
puppy.
What you say, Brandon?
I said go buy you a puppy. Like if you trying to start, like don't start over with no, like go get you a puppy. You know what I'm saying? A hamster, a goldfish.
Look, no, I mean, they be married, and so they still doing what they do, and then
I mean,
sometimes they not
yeah,
married, and you mess around and you have what you said, a oops baby.
yeah.
Nah, bro, nah,
I feel it. I mean, they make
nah.
Plan B for a reason, but I ain't in nobody's business.
Look, no,
I
you
ain't
know
telling
what the thing
nobody what to
is.
do.
No, the thing is though, if the baby's supposed to be here, he gonna be here. He or she is
Yeah,
going to be here.
exactly.
So it don't matter if you use protection. It don't matter play whatever. If they supposed to be here, they will be.
That's facts.
I've had more than one pregnancy where I thought I was protected, and
Well, it's good for
nah.
me. I ain't had no scares. So I've been batting 1,000. So, keep me near. Cause I ain't trying, like I said, yeah,
But the thing
I ain't where
is,
I
you're
need
not
to be
trying
yet.
to do that. That's not
Huh?
even in your mind frame to even, to even be doing all that stuff. And
I
that ain't
mean,
in my mind frame to be,
I work a lot,
huh?
so I work a lot. So I gotta play a little bit. When I'm out, when the coach take me out the game, I gotta go. I gotta still occupy my time. I ain't trying to have the devil on my back. Idle time is the devil's playground. Idle mind is the devil's playground. So I ain't trying to
Yes,
get
it
the devil
is.
no
It
place. I'm just, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, like I said, most of the time I'm working. Like literally, it's 6, 7 days a week most of the time. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, and then like there ain't no ending hours. Somebody can message me at midnight like, oh, I need this, and then I can decide if
Yeah.
I want to get up and do that. And like I normally hit them back like, okay, what that deposit look like? Oh, you hit the deposit. All right, yeah, you can get that within the next 2 hours. Yeah, I'll go ahead and
Mhm.
get up. I'll go to the store, get an energy drink, and knock that out
Well,
for you
I
for
don't know,
sure.
Brandon. You might be in one day. You might be in something good, and it ain't gonna be that easy. Just go on and get up.
Oh Lord, hey, I mean, now you're talking to me. You're talking about the guy here. I'm trying to keep myself in a safe space. I'm trying to keep myself in a safe space. Don't have me thinking I can't. In my mind, I can. So,
Okay, look.
hey, it's been going good so far. So,
Yes, yes. Because like I said, you're only 34, so you got time to do all that.
mm,
No, you
I
got
got time,
time.
but I got a lot of goals in mind, and I
Uh huh.
realize like I keep my goals first. Like other things are secondary, but my goals are first. Having a family is a goal of mine, but like I said, I could always just date someone younger if that's the case. If it's just like a kid's thing, but I'm also looking for the connection. The right connection got to be there. It
Mm-hmm.
has to be. It had. I mean, it ain't got to be perfect. I'm not looking for anything to be perfect, but it got to be manageable. Like I got to be able to. We got to be able to depend on each other. We got to be able to correct each other. We got to be able to grow with each other. And if that ain't the case, it's just like, yeah, it ain't gonna be
Right,
worth my
right,
time.
right. I like your mindset. I like your mindset. You don't hear a lot of brothers speaking about that. Of, sir, it's Negroes my age that ain't even came to that conclusion yet, and
Oh,
older.
yeah. I mean, but I will say, if I ain't found nobody by the time I'm 40, I would definitely be a bachelor for the rest of my life. Cause
Wait
my
a minute. Wait. No.
that don't mean I'm a dog nobody out. That's just mean
No,
like,
I'm not
I
saying
might.
about you dogging somebody out. It's just like no, because you can meet somebody at 41. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what
That
I was
ain't
gonna
got no
say.
kids, and y'all trying to do this thing.
But so it'll be my mind, my as far as my focus would change. I'll be in the mindset of being more of a bachelor, but I'll always be looking. If that connection comes, then I'll be like, all right, then I'll switch it back.
Yeah.
But
And then you in
yeah,
Brazil, and you seem like you're
exactly.
gonna be there for a while.
Oh yeah,
I don't, sir. I don't think you're gonna make it to 40 and not have found her.
we shall see. I mean,
Yeah.
that'll be a great thing. You know,
Huh?
that'll be a great thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah. I don't think
opposed to
you're gonna
that at
make it
all.
to 40 and
I
not
mean,
have
I'm
found.
not someone that's opposed to love. I always tell people, like my homies, I tell them, watch out for themselves. Like you got to look out for you, and you got to have your best interest in mind. But she might be your best interest. So you have to know your best interest to really be able to vet the right woman.
All right, Brandon.
Oh God. I
All
mean, I
right.
guess that's kind of like where I'm at. That's where I be thinking of when it comes in terms of relationships. Because yeah, nobody's
Well, I
perfect.
mean,
So
that's good.
if you just looking for that perfect person, that ain't gonna never come. It's never gonna be there.
No, no. Me personally, no. It's just it's gotta be. We gotta be like he. Number one, he has to lead with love,
Mm-hmm.
and what I mean about that is just treating me with kindness. A
Yeah.
friend of mine we used to say, act like you like me. You
Yeah.
know, act like you like me. So because you have a lot of people that we have to sometimes question, like, do some men really like women?
Yeah. That's what I
You
was
got
telling
to
you
get
about.
into.
Like I get underwhelmed sometimes, but
Uh-huh.
it's a me thing. It's a me thing, and it comes from just like being with my family. So that's why we get underwhelmed. But like, I can always find new things to ask, new questions to ask, or like
Mhm.
pursue a new venture with the person. You know, there's always things that I can do that I can find as new that won't underwhelm me. But yeah,
Yeah. So and look, and that'll be appreciated by someone who you're supposed to connect with. And so,
yeah,
like I was saying, just leading with love, just being mindful,
mm-hmm,
knowing who they are, so that you understand who I am.
mm-hmm, exactly.
Knowing knowing what your purpose is in life. Like the person that I'm waiting on, yeah, he's a different dude from the rest.
Mm-hmm.
He's a different dude from the rest. Yeah. Yeah, you have to know these things.
Yeah.
And none of that 50-50 talk and all that old craziness that just like what? What I found with like Mexican men, like you said, what about the people, the Brazilians,
Mm-hmm.
very family oriented.
Yeah.
Most of the time when it comes to Mexican men, they taking care of their woman. They appreciate women. They show them love. So it's not that's not an issue. They know how to treat women well. That's what I'm finding. That's what I'm
Yeah,
seeing. That's
I
what I'm
mean, I noticed
seeing.
there were like Mexican women in the States. So yeah, it's definitely a part of their culture. I know the Brazilian women are like
Mhm.
that too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, and
Mhm.
I think us as black people, we it's weird because our culture, well, I don't think black Americans have culture.
Yeah.
It's
You
just
don't think they have
popularity.
culture?
No, I just think it's a popularity thing. Because if we had culture, culture comes with standards. We don't have a lot of standards when it comes to like black Americans. They're
Mm.
like when you for like instance like this, like in certain like when I've met a lot of Filipino people in the Bay, they're if they're married to someone, they don't talk to their husband any type of way. They don't talk to their wife any type of way. Like especially in public. Like they might argue at home and like get into it at home in public. They not doing all that. And it's out of respect for the person, but also that's how their culture is. And
Mhm.
like with black people, I don't think we have our culture is the music that we make, the way we dress. It's that's our culture. And but that's not technically our culture, but that's what is on display. That's what we kind of take in. Cause when you think about like I think of culture as something that's been passed down. If the music and all
Right.
this stuff is constantly it's trendy, it can't be passed down because it's always changing. We don't have anything that we can hold on to like other people do.
Well, Brandon, hold on. Hold on. Um, I do feel like I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one.
As you should.
I
That's fine.
think yeah. But no, I feel like that we do have culture, we do have things that we hold on to. But the fact of the matter is, by design, it was not meant for us to do any of that. You know, especially in America, we've always just been, used as labor. We haven't even been seen as human. So, therefore, I think because of the fact that a lot of us don't really know, like, where we come from, the history, the culture, that,
Well, I'm specifically talking about Black Americans.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about Black American culture because that's what I was saying. If we had culture, we would be able to pass it down. Not coming from anywhere else, not coming from Africa. I'm talking about in America. There is no
So
Black American culture.
since we've been in America, we've had culture because we had no other choice but to have that. We've had no other choice but to have it. We brought something. We did bring something over, and it stayed with us for a time. And now we're looking how we're looking right now. Like your generation, I can understand why you would say that. I do. I
But
do.
that's what I'm saying. It's not being passed down because like it don't go nowhere. Like I can talk to an Asian kid that's younger than me, an Asian kid that's older than me, and they can agree on certain things because of their culture. Filipinos the
Mhm.
same way,
Because it
Brazilians the
has been
same way.
passed down. Yes.
With our like with black people, it's so like we have such a disconnect. Like the
Mm-hmm.
young people, what they call them, the YNs. The young people like they
Uh-huh.
don't they it's like they're so disconnected from someone who's literally 20 years older than them. It's like that's it's so weird to me because it's like I look at other cultures and I've been around other cultures and it's just like certain things that they won't do, certain things they won't say. And our culture is just like we just always looking for the next thing. And I think that's why we're always looking for the next thing because we don't have anything to bring with us. That's like Well, not that we don't have anything, we just don't bring those things with us.
Yeah,
We don't
yes,
bring.
yes, we have it. We certainly have it, but it wasn't taught to like you. Like I'm Generation X, and you should be like what, a millennial?
Hmm.
Yeah. The difference in what we were taught and what we were brought up with is drastically different. And
Yeah,
those YEs, what's that? That's Generation Z or something.
this generation zesty. That's what I call them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it kind of, and I hate to say this, but it kind of stopped with Generation X. Like
Yeah,
something went terribly wrong. Something went terribly wrong after us. Um, but I do feel like your generation, the Gen Z, and some of the Gen Zs, or is it a Gen Y? I don't know. Some of these other
I don't
generations, I think y'all are doing things so differently that eventually it'll come back together. I'll say it like that.
yeah, I mean, what I've seen is that even with like all this feminist stuff, like at the end of the day, the most extreme feminist wants to be treated like a woman. Like, because feminism don't tell you to be treated like a woman. Like, like it was a video I was watching yesterday, and the woman was getting mad. She was like, she was struggling carrying this chair across the room, and she was like, there were two men there, and they didn't even offer to help her.
Mm-hmm.
And then the person was like, well, did you ask? She was like, well, I shouldn't have to ask. It's like, I was like, if you act strong and independent every other day, nobody's gonna see you struggling with something and be like, "Oh, let me help you." It's just like, "Oh, you got it." Because if I try to help you with something that you got, you gonna tell me to move, get away. So if you don't ask, but that's why I was saying, like, at the end of the day, every woman wants to be treated like a woman. Like, no matter what they believe, no matter how they think about whatever, they want to be treated like a woman. So I do agree when you say it's going to come back around full circle. I just think it's just like a lot of stuff that's gonna happen in between and like yeah. That's why I just stay to myself a lot because I ain't with all the regular.
Look, you get back
I,
to looking like I'm just gonna be by myself. Sis.
yeah, I be to myself because like I was raised by my grandparents. So
Uh-huh.
I was raised super old school and like even though my grandma would like try to control stuff, my granddad said anything. My granddad was super soft spoken. But if he ever said anything, it was just like, okay. And it wasn't like no demanding. It was just like that's her respect for him. That's the role that he had within the house. It wasn't, but like it seemed like nowadays people think if you have a difference of opinion, if you have like any type of voice that's going against whatever somebody else is thinking, it's like, oh, now I got to prove to you that I'm right. No, you can think different. It's fine. Like that,
Mhm.
I want you to think different because that showed me that you thinking. I really just want
Right,
you to think. A lot of people not thinking. They just listen to
right.
whatever's out there and then they trying to push the narrative. I'm like, yo, no, think. Think for yourself, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
That's one thing. That's one thing. Like when I was in the classroom, I
mhm,
would rather for you to be an independent thinker. I would rather for you to think outside the box. I would definitely not want you to be a follower. Let me tell you what happened to
yeah.
me one time. I was teaching at this high school in Jackson, Mississippi. I was teaching English, and because of the way this school had been portrayed, I'm gonna say
Hmm.
it that way. Kids thought they weren't supposed to really do any work.
Oh yeah, I've been in schools like that
Yeah.
before.
So I'm coming in. I'm doing. We're reading. I'm all for reading the black authors. Like I'm giving them like Langston Hughes. I'm looking at
Hmm.
black authors. Basically everything black. So anyway,
Yeah.
I knew I had to prepare them for this state test, and they weren't ready for that. They weren't ready for me. So what ended up happening? one student, one student started a petition,
Against
and
you?
was like,
Oh,
look,
that's
she
funny.
okay, but we got to get up out of here. You know, I I was impressed by the fact that he saw, okay, this is about to be a problem. Let me figure out a solution. And I think the best way to do this is to start a petition and get people to sign this petition so that we can take it to the principal and let him know, yeah, we don't want her to teach us, right?
Yeah.
Now, the fact that the people that now kids signed the petition, right? But the fact that
Mhm.
the kids who signed it was some special ed kids that never had me. But it was the fact that I love the fact that he had they wasn't even my students, But I love the fact that he had the mindset like, shoot, I'm gonna try my best to get up out of here. That was him thinking. That was him
Yeah,
figuring something out. I also had
exactly.
my kids doing business plans too, so that's me too. So
Okay.
we're gonna do some work.
Exactly. Now I like that. Yeah, I would have liked being in your class.
I pretty much had the I ain't gonna say the bad kids, but the alternative kids. That's pretty much basically who
Oh
I
yeah, I mean
have
I probably
always
would have been in
had.
your class. So the
Huh?
thing is, what I realized early on, because I just
What you
would
say
see,
you probably
I,
would have
I
been in
used
my
to
class?
ask, huh?
What you say you probably would have been in my class?
Oh yeah, I definitely would have been in your class for sure. Because like what I realized about myself thinking back is that I always asked smart questions, even though I didn't know what I was asking. So I was asking
Mm,
questions beyond my years just off of like my perception of what I saw, but I didn't know what those questions were. But if somebody's asking you those questions, you think like you know what you're talking about. It's like that. Oh, you trying to be smart. It was like that type of energy. But it's like,
mm.
nah, I'm genuinely asking a question. Like,
Asking a question, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the energy I got from all adults until I was in high school. Till I realized like, oh, y'all thought I was being funny when I was younger. And like, nah, like I really was asking y'all genuine questions while y'all trying to get mad at me. So that's the energy I grew up with a lot of adults from like elementary school to high school. And it was just so I definitely would have been in your class because everybody thought I was bad. Like especially oh man, when I was in church, they thought I was the worst in church. Oh my god, I can't blame them. I did
Oh
a lot of
man,
crazy stuff in
look, we ain't
church.
gonna even get on that one.
Yeah, I did a lot of crazy stuff in church. It wasn't my fault. My grandma had me there like I was there like 4 5 days out the week. So it's just like yo,
Yeah.
like
Oh my God. Look, wait a minute. Was y'all what denomination were you?
holiness.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. I used to be a part, but first I was Baptist and then I joined this holiness church.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. You know.
I hated it. I mean, it was cool because you know, like I played music, so it was all right. But oh my god, like I don't know,
Man.
it just got old real fast, and I got tired of seeing it. Like I told you, I got underwhelmed. This is why we get underwhelmed. You seeing the same people all the time. You got people saying the same prayer. Like it was this one man. It was this one man. I already knew exactly what he was gonna pray about, and my grandma used to get so mad because like right when anybody would ask him to pray, I would go ahead and start talking about him, and I would have all the kids laughing. And like after he would pray, my
You
grandma
already know what
would
you
whoop
got
me.
to talk about.
Oh my god! It's like why don't you get this man something else to pray with? Like like y'all should help him. Like why you getting mad at me? Go help him. Don't be mad at me. Just help him. But oh my god, like I said, I probably ain't had no business doing a lot of stuff I did in church, but I did it. But and it was what it was.
No, I mean church. I have to say that because, of course, we from us being from the South,
Yeah.
like like you said, you might as well have been born in the church. You know, they might as well have taken your mom straight to the church, and that's what it would have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, just growing up in the church, and then of course, now I don't set foot in anybody's church to do anything. But
Not unless they pay me. They gotta pay me now.
yeah,
I don't go to
it's
church for free no more.
but
I've been there, done that.
as you get older, you understand more. You get
Yeah.
it. Like I didn't say the one doing anything in the church, but I do remember like it took me a while to how you had to go up to the front to where you profess your the lines,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
give me your
yeah.
life to the Lord type of thing.
Yeah.
It took me a while. It took me a while to do that. I think I probably would have been about 12. I think I was an older person, kid getting baptized. But one,
Uh-huh.
I didn't see the reason to do that because I knew I had been Christian as a baby. So it's like, hey, we need to do it. We need to do something else now. But I remember.
Like I'm proving myself. What? Well, I'm gonna level up. What's in
Yeah,
the water?
like what are we
So that's
doing?
what I'm saying. Questions like that. I would ask my grandma. I was like, "Well, what's in the water?" And she would get mad. I'm like, "We drink water every day. What's in that water? What's
What's in
I
this
take a
water?
bath.
This
I take a
baptismal
shower."
pool. Like what's going on? Man, but no, it took like I just remember my father telling me to sit on the front row,
Oh,
and I was sitting on the front row, and the pastor was like, calling for the people, whoever wanted to come and join and all that kind of thing. And I was sitting there. I was still kind of sitting there because I'm just kind of like, um. What do we, what we doing? What we got to do this? I was already in the church doing, I had already been there. So anyway, I just remember my grandmother sitting next to me and she was crying and, praying to the point I just said, okay, well, let me just go on and get up. And that's basically how I ended up being in church, joining the church, even though I had been there since I was a baby, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I got too many church stories. Like church stories are infinite. Like they're literally like infinite. Because my grandmother and my dad are both pastors. So
Oh man.
I have infinite church stories. Like some
Oh
of them,
man.
I like telling the funny ones.
But I know that
I
was
listen
hard.
to
I know
like,
that had to be hard on you, especially when you had all those questions and wasn't nobody really giving you any answers that made
oh,
sense.
I mean, there's a reason why I don't talk to my family. And I
Okay,
can't
got it,
take it.
got it.
I cannot take it. They be too overly spiritual. Everything got to be about something. I'm like, look, man, you ate something wrong. That wasn't the Lord. You ain't supposed to be eating hot sauce, Uncle Fred. Like you ate all that barbecue with the hot sauce. Now you talking about the devil busy. No, nigga. That's your colon. That's your exit reflex. Like, no, sit your tail down somewhere, man. But like, so once I started understanding things, I just started calling stuff out. And my family just like, you always trying to start something. I was like, no, I'm just not stupid. Y'all be trying to act stupid, like everything is of the Lord. I'm like, look now, God gave you common sense. Like, use it, please. But yeah, my family, they too Jesus-y for me. I was like, yeah, I can't do it. I can't
Well,
do
I'm
it.
glad, our last live, and we're over an hour now. I guess we just get on here and just get to talking about stuff. But our last live, we mentioned having met a medium while you were in Brazil,
Yeah,
and having to learn about the Orishas and of African spirituality. I'll say
Mm-hmm.
that. And that's incorporated in Brazilian culture. You can still hear me? Is it all good? 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
sitting
yeah.
at
No,
this.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit more about that piece. Because I did ask you, like, if that person invites you again, please go. Please go to that. They will invite you to the. I don't want to call it a meeting because that's not what it is.
It's like more like a ceremony. I forgot the
Okay.
name for it. They have a name for it, but I forgot the name for it. But it's like a ceremony where you
Uh-huh.
go in and they have this certain type of fragrance that's it's like an incense, but it's a certain type of fragrance that they have, and they're pumping it all the way through the building, and you go in there and you kind of. My friend explained it that you go in there and you kind of wait. It's like you wait, you can pray, um, you can, but or some people talk to each other, and then when they have people come out that are supposed to be the representation of the spirits,
Mm-hmm.
and like sometimes they choose you, or you can go to them, and then they always have a certain word for you, or sometimes they'll ask you like, what are you expecting, what are you looking for, and so yeah, it's just a like I would say it's more like how they do altar call and like holiness churches. It's more so kind of
Mm-hmm.
like that, but it's like you're doing it for like that's the whole service. You're just doing it for a large group of people, and they're singing too. They're singing and playing drums.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Those drums are very important.
yeah, every
Those drums are very important.
every
I'm
Orisha
glad you were open.
has different rhythm.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you were open to that.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
glad you were
I
open to
had to be open to stuff because like I said, I never been a closed minded person. I just like to make stuff make sense. Like I knew I
that.
couldn't
Mm-hmm.
be too religious because my family was so religious and it just didn't make sense. It's
Mm-hmm.
like they would literally do things that's just like, oh, I ain't supposed to eat this, but I'm gonna eat it, and then feel terrible, and then be like, oh, I need you to come pray for me. Like,
What?
bro, like no, like that don't make no sense. Like, just let it run its course. Whatever you got going on, drink you
Uh-huh.
some water, take your Advil, lay your tail down. When you wake up, you probably be good. Oh, but so I think the my main thing about like a whole bunch of religions that so people used to call my grandma at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning asking for prayer,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
and she would be asleep, and there was a phone like the old phone lines. There was a
Yeah,
phone
the
in the
prayer
living room.
line. Your
My
grandma had
room
the
was
prayer
close by
line.
the living
Okay.
room. Huh?
Your grandma had the prayer line going.
She had the prayer line. Like I swear the pastor told everybody that wanted prayer to call my grandma. No matter what time it was, my grandma would agree. Like, oh yeah, you can call me anytime. I used to be beside her. I'd be like, no, don't call her anytime. And she'd be like, boy, shut up. I'm like, no. I'm like, cause you tell people that and they call you at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Like they ain't got nothing else to do. Like
Well,
people
I
are
guess I
trying
would
to
assume your
sleep.
grandmother knew how to get a prayer through.
Man.
You look like
Hey.
for her to be the prayer person, she had to know how to get a prayer through.
I mean, that's what you want to call it. Some of these people, I ain't even gonna, I'm not gonna down people's whatever they was going through, all this stuff, and I ain't gonna down my grandma for being who she is. But
Mm-hmm.
like, her prayer room was right next to my room,
Oh.
so it's like you don't want to bother my granddad, but you gonna go pray for like 2.5 hours by my room. Then I got to get up and go to school, and then you mad at me for sleeping in class. But I don't get no understanding. But all the prayer, all them prayer people get understanding. But I don't get no understanding. It's like, all right, all right. So that's like my whole thing. I was like, I never was gonna be too religious because that, like I said, stuff just don't make sense. It's like you could have went to your car if you was gonna do all that. Like once I complained to you the first time, like, oh yeah, your praying is keeping me up at night. Like, go to the car. You got a key to the church. Go to the church. Like the church ain't that far from the house. Like I don't know what to tell you, but like you get mad at me for sleeping in class, and it's just like, yo,
Like make it make
I
sense.
was up because of you. Oh Lord. So yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna be like overly religious in that stance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm open. I'm open to things that make sense. And like these religions definitely make. I mean, the Orishas make a lot of sense. You know, there are different Orishas for different things. You can call upon a different one when you're feeling a certain type of way, and like they're neither good or bad. That's like the main thing that I like about it. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's not just like, oh yeah, everything is all good. It's like, nah, like this person, this Orisha does this thing. The other Orisha is like, there's one for like finances, there's one for health, there's one
Mm-hmm.
for what they call it, like outward growth as far as like growth in the community or like
Okay, Brandon.
crop for like crop growth. There's different ones. And
Yes.
like it makes, like I said, it makes sense. Like
Mm-hmm.
being coming from a holiness church where it's just like not even to say that one guy couldn't do all that. It's just the fact that God can do no wrong. And it's just like, well, how can we can do wrong and we made after him? That don't make that quite never made sense to me. And these
Okay.
Orishas, they're more so like we're keeping you on the path of kind of like we're guiding you to what you need to do, what's best for you. And what's
Yeah.
best for you might not be best for somebody else. So that might not seem good for that person. So it
Mm-hmm.
just, I don't know, like I said, it just made more sense to me in that stance. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still learning like more about this stuff. I'm not in a religion. I don't think I could be in any religion,
Yeah.
but like I'm all for like information and stuff that makes sense.
Right, right, right. I understand that. I understand that. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you saying all those things. Like I told you before, this year, this is the year of 2025 is the year of 9, and it's the year of Oya. And she's the keeper
Mm.
of the ancestors. And that is the reason why we're seeing a lot of things that we're seeing. As far as I'm gonna give you an example, that plantation that burned, that was burning, that caught on
Mm-hmm.
fire, and then after they put the fire out, it started back up again. I believe
Yeah.
it's another one that caught on fire too. So we're gonna be seeing a lot of different things. Our
Okay.
ancestors are really showing us who they are and what they all about. So that's why I've been encouraging people to, build an ancestor altar, of those people that you loved and loved you, that the good ancestors, some you may not have known, but you may have heard about.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
have an ancestor altar in my home right now, and it has my mom and my uncle on it. You know, um,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's another uncle that I didn't know, but he left the house that I'm renovating. He left that to my mom and my aunt, so I added him on there because he had to be doing some good work. So
Yeah.
yeah, I encourage people to build your ancestor altar. Build your
Okay.
ancestor altar. Because they have, like, if you ever needed some like clarity or just needed to know what to do and you wanted some guidance, that's what they're there
Mm-hmm.
for. That's what they're there
Exactly.
for.
Exactly.
Yeah. Since we grew up Christian and everything, we were taught to believe that, once somebody is dead, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
It's
it.
like, okay.
Yeah, like how? I even
Right.
had
So
someone
like
tell me, huh?
No, I was gonna say that we're energy. Like energy can't be
Right.
created or destroyed, so we got to go somewhere.
Yeah. So, this like I was trying to tell one of someone, about an altar, and it got into a conversation about worshiping,
Hmm.
your ancestors, and I'm like, no, this is just about honoring them. Just like
Yeah,
you honor Martin Luther King.
exactly.
We didn't know him, you know, but you but you honor him in some form of fashion. Why not be
Yeah.
able to honor your grandmother who loved you dearly?
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
But
Nah, I
yeah,
like that.
yeah. I think we'll end on that note. We doing an hour and 15. I wish
Okay.
my internet and my technology around here was better. It still ain't caught up. I'm just looking at different. It's just moving. What's it looking like for you?
I mean, it's just been like moving, kind of, you know, what is it, like 8-bit? I guess you could kind of say it's been moving kind of like that the whole time. But your audio has been coming in, so it's fine.
Yeah, so that's as long as the people hear us. That's what matters. That's what matters. Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
indeed. Yes, indeed. And I know you want to go eat. I know it's your time to eat.
yeah. I'm about to go
Like
eat right
5:30.
now.
It's like 5:32 around here. Yeah. But yeah,
Yep.
all right. I appreciate you, Brandon. I appreciate you.
Nah, no
We didn't talk too
problem.
much about the Bay, so that's fine. We didn't do too
It's all
much of
good.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad, I appreciate the fact that you wanted to do this, and you're living in. For those who may have just been joining us, you're live from what is it,
Sao
Sao
Paulo,
Paulo, Brazil.
Paulo, Brazil,
Sao
Brazil.
Paulo, Brazil, living abroad. You've been there for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Almost 2 years. You're a musician and a producer. And I am live from Alvarado, Veracruz, Mexico. And
Mm.
my son and I have been here for almost 5 months.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yes, we've been here. Aaron is about to get ready to go back to the States. He said he's going back to the Bay. And so,
Okay.
so, hey, I guess he's gonna figure that thing out. But
Mm.
but yes, indeed, I actually got to go back to the Bay as well before him. But
I mean,
yeah,
I'll probably be back there. I might go back next year. I plan because I was gonna go to North Carolina next year, so I might go back to the Bay
you're
next
just
year.
like yeah. But I was saying like you really don't have no real reason just to be going, just to go back and everything.
Yeah, like I'll go back to see a couple. I mean, I got friends there,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
yeah, it ain't really
yeah.
nothing to like somebody. See, the thing is, I know when I go there, somebody gonna try to give me a gig and be like, "Oh, can you play drums?" I'm like, "Oh
Of
God,
course
no."
they are.
I'm like, "Get me in the studio. I'll play drums in the studio." No, I'm not
Uh
trying
huh.
to. I'm not trying to find no drum set to lug a drum set to a place where I don't know the set
Right.
up drums, play for 3 hours, and that's just a lot. That's what I'm trying to get away from. I
Yeah.
literally did that for like 7 years, where I was in this wedding band, and we was getting paid pretty good money, but I would literally have to drive like 3 hours, wait 3 hours, play 3 hours, and drive back.
Oh
So it's just
wow.
like, that's like half a day. And like that, I
Hmm.
was doing that almost every like Saturday, every weekend. Like that's what I was doing. That's what my weekends consisted of.
Hmm.
And like I was making some decent money, but it's just like, I got so tired of that.
Hmm.
Like, I got so tired of it. And I was playing during the week too. I was playing and still doing studio sessions and doing all that. But
Yeah, I understand why you're like, we're not gonna, you don't want to, you no longer want to do that in Brazil. You kind of want to get away from doing that, working 12-hour days So yeah,
Yeah.
I can understand that. I can understand that.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so but I mean it taught me some hard work, so I'm a hard worker. I get the job done. But
Hmm.
yeah, I ain't trying to play out too much. Like here, they don't have as many opportunities to play out like that here, unless you're
Hmm.
like with someone that's kind of professional.
Hmm.
And so it's been pretty cool now. Now I will go on tour. That's a different thing. I will go on tour with somebody because that's different. When you on tour,
Hmm.
you got somebody else setting up your drums. You ain't got to take it with you. You know, I get to chill in the green room. I can go
Hmm.
places. They'll bring me some weed, bring me drink. They gonna give me food. See, that's different. I go on tour.
Oh, you know what? I never asked you this. Because I think I saw one time like you worked with the artist Saba.
Yeah, I was on his "Care for Me" album.
Okay. Like who
So
are
yeah,
some other
all
people that you work with?
I work with Saba. I work with this artist called Salami Rose Joe Lewis.
Hmm.
Um, who else projects I've been on? I've been on a couple of other rappers projects where I produce some stuff or just like just played. Maybe they called me in to just play like some keys or like drums real quick. So yeah, cause I was kind of like a studio musician at this spot in the Bay. Well, actually at a couple spots in the Bay. So I would just literally get called in, wouldn't really know who I was playing for, just play the song, and sometimes I would
Hmm.
leave before the artist even got there.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm
Okay.
on I'm on some projects. You know, I be doing my thing a little bit.
I got it. I got it. Well, again, thank you. Thank you.
No
I
problem.
hope
Always a
that
pleasure.
yes, yes. As soon as I figure out what's going on with my technology, we may have to do it again.
Okay, it's all good. It's all good. You might have to get you like a little interface and a mic. That might be like a thing you got to do.
Look, my son has all that whole hookup in there in the other. I'm pointing over there, but in the right, he has his
You might
whole
have to go
hookup.
snatch it one time for the one time. I mean,
Man,
I
he
got
got the
I got
mic
my
and
mic
the
right here.
yeah,
Yeah.
he got all kind of stuff going on back there. He got a computer here. Well, he purchased one
Okay.
from here. So yeah. So he got all this, he got a whole little setup. It's me that's just trying to,
Yeah.
deal with the stuff that I have. Yeah.
Well, yeah. You might have to get you. Might have to check that out, figure that out. So it may help it run a little smoother.
Yeah. Yeah. He probably in there sleep right now. But at some point I'm gonna get him to figure out what the problem is.
That sounds like what we do as sons and as kids. Yeah, you got come
Uh-huh.
figure this out for me. You know more about this technology than I do. It's like, oh Lord.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, that's his thing though. He's always, been that the guy that, would do that type of thing. So
Yeah,
yeah.
well,
Hmm.
that's good.
Hmm. That's probably why you want to go back to the Bay.
Yeah, that'll make sense. Yeah, he could definitely make
Hmm.
a lot of money doing that out there.
He tripped me out last night. He did Uber Eats and just so happened the Uber Eats delivery person spoke English, and so he asked me where he was from, and he was
Uh-huh.
like California.
That's crazy.
I was like, "Oh, you from California now? All right."
That's crazy. Yeah, I be saying the same thing too.
Yeah, like I'm like, I have to. I really when people ask me that, I have to give this whole full answer. It's never just one thing, and so I'll be
Hmm.
like, "Well, we're coming from California, but I'm really from Memphis, so I
Yeah.
have to give a whole picture, like." But I do
Nah, I be
mention
telling people I'm from Cali. They be like, "Where you from, Cali?" They're like,
Cali.
"Oh,
That's crazy. But all right, Brandon. I will talk to you soon.
All right.
All right.
Peace,
Adios.
peace.